Good evening and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Total Nonstop Racing League, broadcasting live from Talladega Superspeedway for the Dega double. First of two races here for this evening. A little bit of a skip on the qualifying session, so we're going to be doing it by a random draw. So let's take a look here at the starting lineup for tonight's Dega double. On the pole is going to be Anthony DeBarro in the number 27 machine. On his outside is going to be John Cannizzaro Jr. Jamar Dumas and Shane Ewing make up row number 2. Philip Scott, Mike Floppy Tellier in row number 3. Nick Simpson and Ace House in row number 4, with Jason Schue and Paul Bilson in row number 5. Row number 6, we see Tim Branson and John Cannizzaro Sr. Row number 7, Garrett Gleason and Robert Tripp, with Jacob Bettis and Adam Stewart rounding out our 16-car field for this evening. And this is going to be a very, very fun race. Already looking forward to this one as we take a look at the starting lineup flashing across the top of your screen. As the Dega double is up and getting ready for drivers to head out onto the racetrack. As the cars are now starting to pull away. Tyler Avery pops into the chat to say hello. Said, good evening all. Time for 2 rounds of watching either my cars end up upside down or in the top 2. Best of luck to all and go CHR. Definitely going to be a fun one here for this evening for those Crazy Horse Racing drivers. Father and son duo Junior starting in the outside of row number 1, and Cannizzaro Sr. starting on the inside of row number 6. So 16-car field here. And certainly going to be a interesting race. Going to see some differing strategies. Some guys deciding to race up at the front. A couple other drivers deciding to race towards the back as well. So we will certainly see how this one is going to go for us as this race goes on. Here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Joe not able to join us this evening, so you're stuck with me as a one-man broadcast booth. But it's definitely going to be an exciting 2 races here, 40-lap races in total, as the pace car gets ready to pull off. And the field will be in the hands of the number 27 of Anthony DeBarro. Xander Halgren pops in, says, let's go 11. And as we say that, the green flag is out, and we're racing here at Talladega. Good even run so far for these drivers. As the field getting themselves ready to go here through turns 1 and 2. Everyone minding their own business. As you see, there's a big push coming there from the number 97 machine of Mike Floppy Tellier. That Rave Factory car. Love seeing these big chins on these old Gen 4 machines. Some big pushes coming, and oh, trouble! Big wreck in the back. Tim Branson involved. The 47 of Ace House involved. Jason Schue involved as well. And we're under our first caution of the evening. Let's take a quick look at that one more time, as that just kind of popped out of nowhere. Let's take a look here. This is, I believe, going to be us following the three of, there's the 47, got a push from the 51. Robert Tripp was involved. Wow, what a great job by Adam Stewart, able to duck out of the way. Let's take one more look here. We'll jump on board here with the 4 of Stewart. Jump up on the roof and see exactly what happened here. So as we see, the 47 got a little push. He came down the track. And right here, Stewart makes the smart decision, go down low, because the cars are always going to push up the track there. Branson gets into it. And a great job there by Adam just to avoid and get out of harm's way. Yeah, the bump draft, these cars, they do have the new updated actual 2004 noses, but they still don't exactly match up well. And Scott Stewart says, beautifully done by Adam. Yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. Great job there by Adam to just dodge that huge wreck. So the field all going to come down, likely not going to be taking any tires or anything along those lines. Just fuel only as the 77's out of the way, the 27, the 28, and pretty much the whole field are all going to be leaving the exact same way they came in. Tyler Irby says, oh my goodness, Senior missed one. Time for a celebration. Well, the good news is Senior back up front. And depending on how they decide to line up, we may have a Senior-Junior train. Yeah, let's take a look one more time at the wreck. Looks like Garrett might have caught a piece of the 92. Let's take a look. So big wreck right there. Oh, yeah. Just a little bit of nose damage. Let's see if we can get the drone camera out there. Damage doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit of crinkling right at the hood by that headlight number. But it looks like they should be A-okay as we move forward. Branson, House, Schue, and Tripp all still getting some of their damage fixed. Looks like Schue, no, not back out on the track yet. Jacob Bettis going around trying to catch back up to the field. A couple other drivers head back down. DeBarro, Ewing, Scott, Gleason all head down to grab a little bit more fuel. As field getting themselves ready to go here at Talladega. We'll take a peek here at our race info here for tonight. It's the Dega double here at Talladega Superspeedway, and just a couple of things these drivers are going to need to watch out for is watch for the big one. We did have a pretty large wreck there with about 4 or 5 cars involved in total, but watch out for the big one, especially at the front of the pack as the race goes on. And we saw there too, bump drafting. The bumpers don't fully line up. They line up a lot better than the former and previous version of this car, but they still don't fully line up as well as modern day cars. So definitely gonna have to keep an eye out for the bump drafting and just guys getting a little squirrely there through the corners. And last thing, green flag pit stops, if and when they come, are going to be very, very important. So the pace car making that hard left-hand turn to head down pit road right now. Couple of Canizzaros at the front. Senior leads junior. As we get ready to go in through the restart zone, there it is. Green flag is out. And we are back underway here at Talladega. Lap 40, or lap 5 now, starting out of 40 laps. Only one car out of the race for now is Jason Schue, Robert Tripp, and Ace House both picking up a little bit more damage repair. As somehow Tim Branson has not lost a lap. That car is broken, beaten, scarred, but somehow still out there. As looks like Cannizzaro Jr. leads Senior. He has said that he's looking to help try and push Senior to a win tonight. Especially coming in. Junior has said, look, I'm not running the full schedule. I'm running as much as I can. And his goal is just to get his dad a win. So we'll see if he's able to do that a little bit further back. This is the first bit here with Paul Bilson and Nick Simpson. They're side by side. Here comes Mike Floppy Tellier to the outside of the 28 of Jamar Dumas. Adam Stewart coming up the rear as well, just behind Philip Scott. So the first 2 cars single file, everyone else side by side. And then we see the 27 of DeBarro and Garrett Gleason drafting with one another in the back there. So it's going to be intriguing as this race goes on to see what the different strategies are. Let's see exactly what happens once this race rolls. Let's see the driver's eye view here. We're on board with the 6 of Jacob Bettis. There is Bettis. We see the leader did a 52.4, so 0.3 faster in the back of the pack, but that's kind of how these super speedway races work. You're always a lot faster in the inside of the, or in the middle of the field than you are in the back of the field. Downside to that is the guy in front of you is going slower. That's often how a lot of these accordion kinds of checkups happen. Jamar Dumas takes to the point. He's going to lead this lap as we start off lap number 8 here at Talladega. One car blinks out. That's the 4 of Adam Stewart. He's back in. And we're 3 wide. Shane Ewing gets shuffled to the back. Ewing still trying to get in line. He will in front of his teammate Anthony DeBarro as Garrett Gleason looks to the outside. He's going to try to pick up Adam Stewart. And oh, a little bit of contact there. Looked like the 4 was trying to slot in, just couldn't quite get his nose in. As things are getting interesting back here. Looks like everyone has, for the most part, single filed out. As now we're on board with the 28 of Jamar Dumas. Dumas content with just kind of hanging out right now. As we're on board now with Paul Bilson. Second race this season with TNR and looking pretty good so far. Currently running P2. Bilson started 10th, currently running in the second position. As we're a quarter of the way into this one. A couple of cars taking a look to the outside. There's Philip Scott as well as the 97 of Mike Tellier. A couple of former Waffle Motorsports teammates from back in the day. Looks like Adam Stewart sees that and says, all right, boys, I'll join in. Let's get to the front. Shane Ewing shuffling back behind the 7 of Garrett Gleason. Right now, everyone pretty much on top of each other. However, if I'm someone like Gleason, if I'm Ewing, Stewart, and there's one little checkup and you have to burp the throttle a little too much, it could spell disaster if you're towards the back of this pack. Meanwhile, here comes the field. Down out of turn number 4. Through the tri-oval. Here's Philip Scott on the outside. He had some drafting help, and then he lost it. But he's got Adam Stewart come to pick up. Here comes the 27 of DeBarro jumping out of line, trying to get around the 6 of Jacob Bettis. Jeremy saying, can't get over how the cars look like they're floating around out there. They really do. Very strange to see. Not a whole lot of bumps or anything like that here at Talladega. Very smooth for the most part. Jamar Dumas still out front. In the way with 5 laps. Now make it 6 as he crosses the line. Got about 1/10 of a second over the 51 of Paul Bilson. Still working out a couple of bugs with the new scoring tower, so my apologies if the names are a little bit tougher to read. As if you heard the Rogue engine noise. They are coming up on the 92 of Tim Branson. Branson just exiting the tri-oval. You can see him just about the middle of your screen there entering the tri-oval. Branson goes to the extreme high line. Plenty of room for these drivers to get by. So should another yellow come out, that will give the 92 of Tim Branson the lucky dog. Everyone basically running single file here. DeBarro catching up to the 11 of Nick Simpson. He's got his teammate Shane Ewing behind him, and then a little bit further back, like I had mentioned, one little liftoff. That could cause a couple of guys to lose the draft, and that's what we're seeing now with Adam Stewart, Philip Scott, and Garrett Gleason. For whatever reason, we see these guys losing just a little bit of time each time by. So now they're about 3 seconds from the leader, 2 seconds away from Shane Ewing and the rest of the pack, and we can see that time growing. Definitely not helping the back of those three. With these guys all nose to tail. But we got ourselves 25 laps remaining. As the Dizzy Motorsports drivers thought about taking the high side and trying to make something going, but with the way they are there, they're all just going to be single file and not quite able to do much. As Tim Branson makes his way down pit road. Another side-by-side battle we see there with Adam Stewart, the 99 and the 7. As, oh, they got close there. With now 24 laps to go. It's anyone's race here at the Dega Double. Powered by Shane Ewing. And right now, I think the overall strategy is just log some laps, survive, put some time in. Now here come the Dizzy guys. Taking a look at the weather for this race. 5-mile-an-hour wind. 83-degree air temp, 125-degree track temp. So it's warm, it's slick. And we'll take a look here, but here's Anthony DeBarro. He's got some help from the Canadian Dale Earnhardt. That's Mike Floppy Telliard on the outside. Jeremy saying that, yeah, it's definitely different seeing someone other than the 27 up at the front of the field, and that is for sure. 22 laps to go. Anything could happen. But let's take a look here at the starting, or the driver's points coming into tonight's race. As Anthony DeBarro has a commanding points lead, 144 points over Philip Scott with 79, Nick Cohan in 78, and Nick hasn't ran this whole season. He's ran only a handful of races, but he's won pretty much every race he's ran in. So that's why he's in third. John Cannizzaro Jr. there in fourth. Matt Schlosser has not raced in the last couple of races. He's in fifth currently. Chris Cabot is out of the race as well. So it's big moments here for Nick Simpson. Ace House, he wrecked, but he still has plenty of time to pick up some positions. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see where all of this is going to go as this race, as this race goes on. And we see the Dizzy drivers teaming up yet again. Tellier drops back to get behind the 11 Nick Simpson. TNR's little UN back there with Nick Simpson from the UK, Mike Floppy Tellier from Canada. Let's see if those two drivers can get together. Simpson's going to go up towards the top side. He's going to give a push to the AA32 of Shane Ewing. Meanwhile, out front, Jamar Dumas leads the way halfway through this one. One caution for 3 laps earlier on in this race. Only a couple of lead changes tonight. So now we have 19 laps to go here at Talladega. Ace House pops in saying, me being murdered on lap 1 works out. Now I get to watch the race and football. That is true. Very, very valid argument there. Sometimes getting taken out can help in between races. DeBarro slots back in. As we saw, maybe it looked like a couple of drivers might have thought about wanting to jump down pit road. And that, I think, is going to be interesting. Canizaro Sr. is the only driver who has not pit. He's currently running in 4th. Robert Tripp still down on pit road. After that hellacious lap 1 incident. But I'm interested to see where these drivers are on fuel, because they did have the yellow. They did come down to top off. Handful of drivers pit on a couple of subsequent laps as well to just top off a little bit more. So I'm intrigued to see where everyone is on fuel. They are starting to separate and spread out a little bit more than I might have expected them to. But we'll see here. As we'll get on board here with the 6 of Jacob Bettis. Not pitting yet. Senior just breaks down low just to see what's happening. Here comes the 27 of DeBarro to the outside. He's getting help from his teammate. Now it looks like it might be go time for the Dizzy Motorsports team. Tim Brands or Jason Schue there, just ahead of those drivers. Well, it's a red and white car. It might actually be Branson, and that is. And right now, if I'm someone like Philip Scott, Garrett Gleason, Adam Stewart, I am really hoping for a yellow. Same, honestly, goes now for Mike Tellier and Nick Simpson, as they got separated from the pack. So now they're just hoping for a yellow at this point. Meanwhile, out front, Jamar Dumas still continues to lead the way. 19 laps on the race. 2 more and he'll have officially clinched the most laps led. So that's some extra bonus points. Ewing and DeBarro looking to claw their way to the front and say, hey, It's our turn to lead. That time by, Shane Ewing will lead that lap. Strategy still 14 to go. These guys just waiting. They may need to pit. They may not need to pit. Here comes DeBarro to the outside of Dumas. No help behind, so he's going to start falling back. He's going to get a little bit of help there from Tim Branson. With Branson in the draft, he can usually pick up the pace, but here comes some drivers down pit road. CHR plus Jacob Bettis. Oh, 55 locked him up. He's okay, though. Not seeing any flags on the overlay, so looks like we might be okay. As our first drivers to blink are Crazy Horse Racing. Here's Junior. There's Senior back there, as well as Jacob Bettis. Cannizzaro Jr. down and away. Oh, the 6 and the 55 both took tires. Oh, 55 got caught for speeding, it looks like. As that is a tough break. Meanwhile, in the back, here come more drivers down pit road. Big slide there for Paul Bilson, 32. That's the 27, Jamar Dumas in there. Nick Simpson as well. Some more drivers making their way down pit road. As you see the likes of Philip Scott, Garrett Gleason, and Adam Stewart driving off. As Dumas wins the race off of pit road for this battle. So it'll be interesting now to see if these drivers back here decide to come down. So here's the speed for Adam Stewart, 180 miles an hour. Gleason stays out. Great job by the 4 and the 99 to keep it under 55 down on pit road. Absolutely, green flag stops can make or break your race. It's going to be interesting. I'm thinking Gleason may even be trying to sit there and play a little bit of catch the caution. 11 to go. 18 seconds separate Gleason from the leaders here. Once Gleason does pit, the lead will be handed back over to the 28 of Jamar Dumas. And this field is really separated. Let's take a look here at the track map. You see cars all over the racetrack. So Gleason heads down pit road. That means the lead is going to be relinquished now to the 28 of Jamar Dumas. He's got Shane Ewing just behind him. A little bit further back, about 4 seconds back, is John Cannizzaro Jr. And then from Cannizzaro back to DeBarro's another 3 seconds all by himself. And then about 6 seconds back to the 97 and the 11. So interesting to see what this strategy is going to be for those guys, or is this just going to be a 2-car race now with 10 to go? That's what we're going to be looking for as this one winds down. as we're on race 1 of the Talladega doubleheader. Lapped cars on the outside, Dumas and Ewing there on the inside. They will clear, and they've got about a 10-second lap. Or a 10-second gap, rather, between Cannizzaro and DeBarro. Now they've got a little 4-car tandem going. But interestingly enough, two drivers you would not expect at all to see fighting and working together. The 77 of John Cannizzaro Jr. and the 27 of Anthony DeBarro. So those two working together, trying to cut the gap. Last time by for Cannizzaro, the leader did a 52.9, and he did 57 flat. Let's see what it looks like this time through. $53.2 versus a $53.1. So leader still driving away. Dumas about a car length lead over the 32. He may be trying to back off a little bit and use the 55 to get a run. As with Branson. Branson now to the outside. But if I'm Cannizzaro right now, I may actually think about backing off. Just in case there is a wreck. You get your lap back. Because if a yellow were to come out and you did get an incident point, even if it's considered a 0x when you're getting pushed, that would actually negate the lucky dog or the free pass. As now we see the 32 getting around the 28. So we'll move Shane Ewing up to the point. 7 laps remain. Can Dumas come back? He does. He's going to get to the right rear quarter panel of the 32. Now we've got the 51 of Paul Bilson. Bilson goes high. That's going to give a little bit of draft there to the 28. They're side by side for the lead. 3 wide up front. 6 to go. Equal pushing for both drivers. Big push coming there from the 92 of Branson. And that'll put Dumas in the lead. He's got to be wary, though, not to get too big of a lead. As if the 32 and the 55 link up, there's going to be a big push coming. Not a whole lot of linking up there in the back, though, as DeBarro and Cannizzaro still trying to catch up. But they may not have enough time, as they're just under 8 seconds away from these two. Lap cars getting involved. Now we have a bit of a race for the lucky dog. That's the 55 versus the 51. Shane Ewing gets shuffled out of place. That's exactly what the 28 wanted to see. Now is Ewing going to be able to battle back? On board now with the 28 of Jamar Dumas. There's Shane Ewing in the 32. about 7/10 of a second. Although he is closing, he's got a big run. Is Ewing going to be able to make it happen? Or is Jamar Dumas just going to say, all right, I'll see you guys later. We'll check out. Leader sandwich right now with Dumas and Ewing as the bread. Three laps to go. Jamar Dumas leads. DeBarro all over the back bumper of Cannizzaro, but nothing going there. See where your favorite driver is on the track map here. Big gap between second and third, as we're down to 2 laps remaining here at Talladega. Two to go. You can see here where all these drivers gained or lost positions throughout this race. Though qualifying did not happen, but it's go time now for these drivers. 51 and 55. Both trying something to get around the 28 of Jamar Dumas just to not be on the lead lap, but the white flag is out. Checkered flag will end the race. Even if someone crashes, they'll continue racing. Jamar Dumas with a great run. Clear track ahead. Into turn number 3. Is Shane Ewing going to have enough to do it? He's going to link up behind the 51 of Paul Bilson, try to use him as a slingshot. Here comes Bilson to the outside with Shane Ewing coming. Jamar Dumas does not need to block. Here comes Ewing. Can Ewing get to the line? No, he can't. Jamar Dumas is going to win race number 1. So Jamar Dumas gets the win. Cannizzaro beats out DeBarro with Philip Scott, Mike Tellier, Nick Simpson behind him. Here comes the next little battle. These 3 drivers all still fighting for a position. Gleason giving the 6 of Jacob Bettis a push, but here comes Adam Stewart. Stewart will cross the line in 8th. Gets the 6 at the line. And that will be race number 1. Jamar Dumas getting ready to burn it down. The race 1 winner, Jamar Dumas. Big win there for the 28. That's going to help him out immensely here in the standings. let's take a look. We'll chat with some of our finishers here. And we'll chat with our third place finisher, driver of the number 77 machine, John Cannizzaro Jr. And, well, John, congrats there on the third place finish. I know you had mentioned coming into this one, you're just working to get Senior the win. Strategy didn't exactly play out. Looked like a pit road speeding penalty for your father for those green flag pit stops. But what did you see out there on your end?
I feel like I'm holding back tears. I love my father. He has his moments. I really do feel like that we would have been really, that we would have been in the best position possible had he got that car down on pit road. Every time we come to Talladega or Daytona, I always preach to him, get on pit road, get on pit road, get on pit road. You can't win a race if you can't get on pit road. He braked really early behind me. I saw it, and all I said to him was just coast it a little bit further. That way I don't lose you on pit road. And I think he coasted it just a little bit too far and decided to go mow some grass. So it's a little bit frustrating. I feel like we would have had a great lead, or at least been up there with Shane and Jamar, and I probably could have made that happen for him. So I know it sucks for him. He's doing his best. He's still learning. I'm not going to cry I got a third place finish with another race to go, but we'll work on it for the second race. That was a very calm race. This draft model is very strange to me, at least. I know it might be mimicking real life a little bit more, but it's definitely very strange to have to deal with. Can't really pass people that great, and it's got to have 3 or 4 cars with you to make anything work. So we're gonna see if we can make anything happen in this second race, and maybe do it with a little less tempers over the chat between me and him.
Fair enough. Well, John, before we let you go, not only I'm sure you have some shout outs for us, so let's hear them.
I gotta shout out my father. He stayed up with me that whole basically the first half of the race, and he did a good job. He's always learning. Gotta thank Tyler for painting these beautiful matching Auto Palace cars. Kind of our favorite inside joke is having Auto Palace and ADAP on everything we drive. So, shout out to him for making these cars for us. Shout out to you for putting on the broadcast. Garrett, everybody that puts on TNR, and just so everybody does know, I am racing with 2 hands today. I am not the one-hand wonder anymore.
You know what? That is great to hear. Hopefully you'll be able to pick up a couple more spots in this next one, but good luck for the next one, John.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Cannizzaro, our third place finisher here tonight. Our second place finisher, driver of the number 32, Shane Ewing. And, well, Shane, it was one of those races where it just got weird after the green flag pit stops. You and Jamar kind of ran away with it, and just it looked like he got shuffled out. Talk to me through those last few laps there.
Yeah, Ian had a little bit of a problem on his pit stop, so Jamar and I came out together, and we had a huge lead, and it was just going to be the 2 of us, and then we caught the cars at the tail end of the lead lap, and then they were lapped down, and it's twofold, because the lap car helped me get the lead, and then the lap cars worked against me to lose the lead. And they're fighting for the lucky dog, so I understand them being up there to a certain point. But if I had my druthers, I'd prefer, a couple laps left into a race that the lap cars drop out of it, and just let me and Jamar fight for it. I mean, I was 4th behind 2 lap cars, and that's where I was stuck there. I couldn't really do anything. So, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I think people that are either for that or against it, but I've always been, your lap car shouldn't help dictate the end of the race. But yeah, I'm still happy to finish second. I needed good points, and we'll go out here next race and try and do one better.
Definitely. And is there something that you may change strategy wise for the second race, or do you think it's going to be roughly the same?
No, not much of change of strategy. Just got to keep a close eye on your fuel level. Once you're good to go on fuel, you need to get your fuel. I know you take a risk of a caution coming out, but nailing that pit stop and having some friends, because it is super hard to pass. There's a bubble in between these cars you cannot break without a hell of a run, and then you got to side draft the shit out of somebody to try and get past them. So you're going to see some tight racing and probably a little bit of paint swapped. If you want to see some passing here, that's how hard it is.
Fair enough. Well, Shane, before I let you go, I'm sure you have some shouts, so let's hear them.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys at Tabletop Trio for doing a great job you guys do every week. Garrett and everybody here at TNR, it's a great group to run with, awful fun to run here, and I appreciate my part in it.
Awesome. Well, Shane, congrats on the P2 finish, and hopefully we'll chat with you after race number 2.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Shane Ewing, our second place finisher. And I'm going to mosey my way down to victory lane, talking with tonight's winner of race number 1, driver of the number 28 machine, Jamar Dumas. And Jamar, first of all, congrats on the win. Talk me through those last few laps. Had a couple of lap cars involved there as well between you and Shane Ewing, but it all kind of stemmed from green flag pit stops.
Hey, man, yeah. It was the green flag pit stops is really what made the difference. I got a good entry and a really good exit. Didn't take tires, and somehow I got back out in the lead.
And it was definitely fun watching you and Shane kind of duel it out there at the end. A couple of lap cars there got in the way, and Shane was saying that, the lap cars kind of helped him get the lead and then also helped you get the lead back. And, what are your thoughts on the lap cars kind of being there, obviously fighting for the lucky dog and all that sort of thing, but any thoughts with lap cars just kind of joining the fight for the lead?
Well, they were all running for position, so they have their own race going on. I saw him laying back a lot, trying to get a run on me, and then he got around me, so I kind of did the same thing to him. Fortunately for me, those lap cars were trying to, run their own race, so I got on the lucky end of it. For sure, and pretty good strategy, I'd say, getting the win. Is there anything you may think about changing for the next race, or just kind of tackling it like you did tonight? Well, this draft package is very unique. It's different from what we've been running. I don't think pitting early is necessarily a huge advantage. I think the later you pit, the better. So I'll probably keep the same strategy. Just wish I had some more teammates there at the end. A lot of them were caught up in that first wreck. Fair enough. Well, Jamar, before we let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them. Oh, yeah. As always, Garrett for running the league. And I want to give a huge shout out to Paul and Tim. They were the lappers behind me. They were really helping me. And Nick Simpson, too. He's been helping a lot. So awesome. I appreciate all those guys. Well, Jamar, congrats on the win. And hopefully we'll be chatting with you after race number 2. Sure thing. And one more thing. I just want to say hi to my daughter, Madison. Awesome. Well, Jamar, congrats again, and we'll chat with you hopefully after race 2. Yes, sir. Good luck. All right. That's Jamar Dumas, our winner here tonight at Talladega. And let's take a quick look here at the final results for tonight's race number 1 of the Talladega doubleheader. Jamar Dumas gets the win over Shane Ewing, John Cannizzaro Jr., Anthony DeBarro, and Philip Scott finishes in P5. Mike Floppy Tellier, Nick Simpson in 7th, Adam Stewart in 8th, Jacob Bettis 9th, Garrett Gleason rounds out our top 10. Paul Bilson does eke out John Cannizzaro Sr. for 11th. 13th is Tim Branson, 5 laps down. Robert Tripp, Ace House, and Jason Schue round out our field for race number 1. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, but when we come back, race number 2 is on the way. Stay right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network.
And welcome back to race number 2 of the Dega double here at Talladega Superspeedway. A couple of things to watch out for tonight as the drivers are out qualifying at this moment is just, we heard there from the interviews, it is incredibly hard to pass, difficult to pass, and we may see some issues here with these drivers as this race goes on. As Ace House is out there on the track right now. He's the fastest so far with a 51.750 second lap time. A couple other drivers out at the moment. He's got some help from Anthony DeBarro as well as Shane Ewing, our second place finisher here. DeBarro narrowly missing out on the podium, finishing behind Canizaro Jr. Driver's not quite able to catch back up, at least as far as that first lap time. Let's see if this lap is going to be any better. Shane Ewing potentially could. No, Anthony DeBarro is going to sneak up in front. DeBarro with a 51.50, just narrowly beating Ace House with a 51.51. Here's Canizaro Sr. out there in the black and white Auto Palace machine. Tim Branson practicing getting down on pit road. Here's Nick Simpson in the Floribama 11 machine. Philip Scott, didn't see much from him last race. He did finish top 5. And just like that, we see the end of the session. Anthony DeBarro is going to get the win, or the pole. There's Canizaro Sr. out there. Adam Stewart pulling off. Robert Tripp finishing his lap. He improves, but not exactly to the point of where he wants to be. And just like that, the session is almost over. Here's Canizaro Sr. making his way down onto pit road. Now the session is over. And we'll take a look now at the starting lineup for tonight's race. As Anthony DeBarro is going to be on the pole with Ace House starting P2. And here's the Dega Double Race 2 starting lineup. Anthony DeBarro on the pole, like I mentioned, with Ace House on the outside, separated by 0.012, 12 one-thousandths of a second, with Shane Ewing and Philip Scott in row number 2. Row number 3, we see the Canadian Dale Earnhardt, Mike Floppy Tellier in 5th, with race number 1's winner, Jamar Dumas, in 6th. Canizaro Sr. starts in 7th, with Jacob Bettis in 8th. Adam Stewart in 9th, with Nick Simpson rounding out the top 10. Row number 6, we see Robert Tripp and Tim Branson, with row number 7 as John Canizaro Jr. and Jason Schue. Paul Bilson and Garrett Gleason will round out our 16-car field for this evening. And folks, this is going to be a fun race tonight. Drivers getting themselves ready to go. Everyone out on track as the field gets themselves ready to roll. "40 laps. This is going to go by quickly. Plenty of options for these drivers. Runs are going to come at a premium. So you do need a whole line of cars to get going. Hard to pass. Bump draft is certainly feasible. Jeremy says, if Floppy's the Canadian Dale Earnhardt, I'm the Yankee Darrell Waltrip. Absolutely love that. Luciani is giving some love to the 55 of John Cannizzaro Sr. There is Sr. right there, starting P8. Let's see what Senior can do here tonight. 40 laps up on the board. Field pacing, getting ready to run here at Talladega. Race number 2 of the Dega Double. Powered by Shane Ewing. But the pace car pulls off. Field in the hands of this driver, the 27 of Anthony DeBarro. He's got his teammate Shane Ewing underneath him. Ewing giving a big push before we even go green. Now we go green. As here comes the field into turn number 1. Everyone minding their own business here. Good pushes going as everyone gets up to speed. Can the field survive lap 1? They had it most of the way as the 47 of Ace House blocks the outside. He's going to jump in front of DeBarro. He's going to block the inside. A little further back are the Cannizzaros going to be linking up. They've got Adam Stewart in between them right now. It's coming through the tri-oval. Here comes DeBarro to the outside of Ace House. We'll put Dizzy Motorsports 1-2. That is going to push the 47 back just a little bit. He's going to be caught up by the 55, but here comes the outside line gaining some momentum. Philip Scott, Jamar Dumas on the top with Nick Simpson as well as Tim Branson, Robert Tripp, and Paul Bilson. Let's see what the field can do now. Out of turn number 4. Side by side from roughly 6th on back. DeBarro leads early on in this one. your guesses who you think is going to win in the comments. Looks like Jeremy saying that he thinks the 32 of Shane Ewing is going to get the win here. Field single file right now. The field completely single file. No one dare jumps out of line quite yet. Mike Tellier running P3. He's taking a look. He's going to jump back in line. Nothing quite going for anyone right now. A little bit further back, here is Cannizzaro. He's caught up with his father, so 55-77. Right now, I think they're just content to ride. Only 5 laps into this one, a 40-lap race. Philip Scott getting out of line. He gets right back in. He's going to break up the Cannizzaro train. But out front, Anthony DeBarro leads the field. And don't forget, if you're the leader, you're actually burning more fuel than everyone else because you essentially have to go full throttle. You're the car breaking the wind and the air in front of everyone else, which is technically going to slow you down, even if just a little bit. But it is enough to use just a little bit more fuel than everyone else. So we'll see if there's a little bit of strategery going. But we will certainly see how this one goes. There's Philip Scott taking a peek to the outside. He's going to try to get around the Cannizzaro team. Crazy Horse Racing. 55 gets a little out of sorts through the tri-oval. But nothing going there for Philip Scott as he's going to duck in behind Adam Stewart. Almost a quarter of the way through this one. Anthony DeBarro up front. Led 8 laps so far. Yeah, completely agreeing with Jeremy over on YouTube. Says for a race like this, I'd still want to be out front. Track position is key, and I completely agree. I would much rather for a race like this, especially with how clean these races have been, I want the opportunity to take this race and steal it. It's not crazy. It's not, you know, anything wild going on. It's pretty calm, and if you can keep in a straight line, you're probably going to be okay. as now the outside line's getting a little bit of momentum. There's Cannizzaro. Senior pushed by a junior with Philip Scott involved as well. They're going to try to push their way up to the front. We heard from Junior during the post-race show of race number 1. He said he's going to try to link up with his father and give him a push, and hopefully the green flag pit cycle will be a little kinder to Senior. But we shall certainly see. As Junior dives down low, he's going to pop in line. And that's just going to kill that momentum of the outside line. There goes Senior. And Philip Scott, the odd man out. He thought about jumping in front of Ace House, couldn't. And that'll take the express elevator all the way back to 9th for Scott. Jamar Dumas, Nick Simpson, Jason Schue, basically 10th on back, have essentially lost the draft. Gleason and Tripp have caught up. As we see the track map right now. Right now, this top 9 all separated by just over a second. Jacob Bettis having himself a good run as well. Down to 29 laps remaining. Field all single file still. Tellier thought about taking a look to the outside. Thinks better of it. Now 28 remaining. Philip Scott again trying the outside, trying to get something going. Don't think he's going to be able to. As he's trying to catch back up to the back end of that number 4 weltsclothing.com machine. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You could follow us on YouTube as well as Twitch. Subscribe and hit the bell for any alerts, especially for when we go live for these TNR races every Monday evening, right around 8:30 Eastern Time here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Going to be having ourselves a fun time this weekend at Saucetoberfest, so make sure you keep an eye out on our socials for everything hot sauce and hot sauce adjacent. First event with the show since our summer pause. So it should be a real good time. But it's been all DeBarro all the time here. DeBarro has led 15 laps here tonight. 26 laps remaining. Drivers have yet to come down on pit road. Working lap number 16 right now. So not quite yet at halfway. As right now that pack went from 9 cars down to 6 as Ace House, Adam Stewart, and Philip Scott have fallen back quite a bit. So now we've got a few different drivers. A couple of cars deciding to head down pit road. Tim Branson, Paul Bilson, those are the first two. So we'll see how that one's going to shake out. Branson and Bilson in the box. Bilson goes away. Oh, Branson takes tires, so that's going to slow him down as the field comes around him. Working lap 18. Top 6 all separated under a blanket by less than half a second. And now that both Bilson and Branson have pit, curious to see what this means for the rest of the field. Nothing quite yet growing. Branson very well could have. Let's take a look here again. Looks like Branson may have actually missed his pit stall. Let's see here as they come down pit road. Get that pit lane camera going. Had to back up ever so slightly, and that definitely slowed him down a bit. Oh, he had to back up more. Just a bad to worse night there for the 92. Got caught up in a lap 1 wreck in the first race. And now this, now both he and Paul Bilson well off the pace. But they did pit early, and they may be able to make it the rest of the way, but we'll see. I mean, they're by themselves now. So they'll be using a lot less field than the rest of the, or a lot less fuel than the rest of the field. Jacob Bettis there with a bit of a connection issue. A little bit further back, looks like Adam Stewart, Ace House, and Philip Scott all roiled up in a battle. So there is a battle for 7th. We'll see here as we're now halfway through this one. Lap cars staying high, leaders coming down low. As looks like that mid-pack is heading down pit road, Ace House and Adam Stewart. So there's House, there's Stewart. See a couple of guys coming down to a little bit of drama. Let's see, is Ace House going to make it in? There may be a flag for the 47, so we'll see what happens here. And oh, a tough break for Ace House. Looks like a black flag for speeding or improper entry. There is a little bit of smoke. Let's see what happened. Oh, he's coming down real hot. Big lock up there. I don't know. So now Philip Scott comes down pit road. He's somewhere over here. There he is. Now Philip Scott all by himself, as it's just he and Ace House. Now, is this going to send the leaders down pit road? We'll see. No, but here come the Crazy Horse drivers. Both Canizaros and Jacob Bettis. Is the 55 going to make it? He is. So great job there by the Canizaros. Both remembering to clear their tires. Oh, the 55 drives through his box. Shouldn't be much of an issue, as now they're all down and away. Let's see, is Team Dizzy Motorsports heading down pit road? They are, along with Mike Tellier. They are able to make it down without locking up. They don't flat spot tires in the game, but they certainly do heat them up. As, oh, Mike Tellier having a little connection issue as he makes his way down pit road. There he is. Stops deep in his box, and oh, he takes tires. That's going to give the lead over to the first race's winner, Jamar Dumas. There's Jason Schue switching manufacturers between races. He's back to the Chevy. Schue caught up in that lap 1 incident in race 1. And now let's see if these drivers all decide to come down pit road. Dumas does, Schue does. Looks like someone is staying out. That actually might have been one of the lap cars of Paul Bilson. So after all that, that'll relinquish the lead back to Anthony DeBarro and Shane Ewing. So DeBarro and Ewing nose to tail. And this could be a little more interesting, I think, as this race plays out. Because if you look here, there's DeBarro and Ewing. That's the 92 of Tim Branson. He is a lap down. And then a little bit further back, we have Jacob Bettis and this whole pack going around Mike Tellier. If they can link up and if they can put in some good lap times nose to tail, they should be able to catch the Dizzy Motorsports drivers out front. It's just a matter of, do they have the time to do that? So now with 15 laps to go, it's anyone's race. And we'll see here. Bettis is faster that time by 0.7 of a second over Shane Ewing. And there they are now. If we jump on board with the 6, you can see them right there on the horizon. As, oh, the 6 having some connection issues. And we'll see if there's something these guys can do. I mean, they're all nose to tail, these 4 drivers. Then we're going to have to go another 14 seconds back to Philip Scott, Adam Stewart, Jason Schue, Jamar Dumas, and Nick Simpson. So this is really the only pack that has a chance to catch up. But we'll see how this one goes. And I think it's a big issue there with the 6 blinking in and out like that. Could easily slow down the 55, 77, 97 team. But this whole field, very, very strong drivers. And now I do believe these 4 have caught the leaders. So from a 2-car race, we're now looking at a 6-car race. Let's jump on board with the 77 through 3 and 4. So the packs have caught one another. Here comes the 6 and the 77 working the top side, trying to get around the 27. Bettis getting a push from Canizaro Sr. There's Junior as well. Ewing and Floppy pushing Debarra. Ten more laps to go. As the 6 plus Crazy Horse starting to fall back ever so slightly. That'll keep Debarra in line. Love that drone shot. Camera Snipe brought to you by our friends at Track Cams for Gourmets. You can check them out online, trackcams22.com, or in the link in the description below if you want to pick up your pack. The oval pack, the road packs, and everything in between. All custom built and updated for the seasons. Bunch of tracks also have the real life camera versions, so the actual NASCAR style switching you'd see when watching a race. Some great drone shots here as well. So make sure to check them out, trackcams22.com. Talladega double Race number 2. 6-car breakaway here for the lead. '27's going to have to block and just hope that no one wants to go. The 32 is never going to want to try to make a move. I think he's just going to sit there and try to block for his teammate unless he's able to get a run. No team orders here in TNR. Crazy Horse drivers backing off a little bit to try to pick up a run into the corner. Crazy Horse being Bettis Jr. and Senior. Coming to 7 laps to go. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe with DeBarro, he's led almost every lap aside from the green flag pit stop cycle. So DeBarro going to pick up some more bonus points for leading the most laps tonight. And he's trying to go for max points again. You lead a lap, you get a point. You lead the most lap, you get a point. Most laps, you get a point. And you get a point for the fastest lap. And if my math is math, and it looks like Philip Scott so far has the fastest lap with a 50.74. But I very well could be wrong, as oftentimes I am. A lot of drivers trying to make a move. Nothing quite going for them yet. Coming now to 4 to go. Still anyone's race. Top 6 separated by about half a second. Big run trying to grow here in the middle of the field, but the 32 looks in the block. Here comes the 6 of Bettis to the top side. He's got a little bit of a push. 32 looks up to block. Here comes Tellier up top. They're going to swing down low, and that might just snake the lead there from the 32, but the 32 is going to power around the outside. Side by side for the lead is Ewing, close to getting in front of the 27. He is. Now the 32 looks to block again. Tellier trying to get in between him and the 27. And now we're at 3 to go. Intensity ramping up here for these top 6. Senior looking to get around the 27 of DeBarro. Shane Ewing up front. That'll move Tabarro all the way back to 6th, from 1st to 6th. Can Ewing hold on? Is he going to hold off the 97 to Tellier? Or, oh, trouble! Caution flag is out. And we'll have our first caution of the race. And that may very well bring up overtime. What happened here? As we had an issue further back in the pack, it's the 11 of Nick Simpson. Oh, he in the 4. Oh, big crash. The 11, the 99 involved. The 4 as well. Let's get one more look there to see what exactly happened. We'll jump on board here with the 4 of Adam Stewart. And the 11 looked like he kind of came down. The 4 may have came up just a little bit. As the 55 and the 99 nowhere to go. And huge lick there for the 99 of Philip Scott. So a tough break there as the field catches up, and we'll see who's going to head down pit road. Fuel should be okay, but the drivers are maybe going to want tires. As nope, no one tries to make a move. Jason Schue, Philip Scott going to head down. And, well, that changes everything. Could potentially see a shock winner. But we'll see. Shane Ewing, Mike Tellier, John Cannizzaro, Sr., then Jr., and Jacob Bettis, your top 5. So we'll see. It looks to me Jason Schue, the only driver really who came down pit road without damage. So maybe those fresh tires will help. Schue's going to be restarting in 9th. So he'll be on the inside of row 5. He'll have 4 cars in front of him. And Jeremy, I'm agreeing, unless Tellier gets a good start, Ewing very well could win. But don't count out those 2.5 Crazy Horse Racing drivers, including Jacob Bettis there in that 6 car. They've been working together. Ewing does not have his drafting partner, Anthony DeBarro. DeBarro's going to be restarting on the outside of row 3. So he's not going to have much drafting help. 55 obviously is going to start pushing. Same with the 6 and the 28. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to see... I don't think we're done seeing this pace car leading the field here. Fairly calm and collected race so far. This is our first caution of the race here, heading into overtime. But as always, make sure you follow here on YouTube and on Twitch. Subscribe to the channel as well. Get updated every time we go live. And that is the question. Do you think they will be able to get it done? Can the drivers get around the 32 as Shane Ewing? Can the 27 catch up to his teammate? Can the Canizzaros link back up? We are going to find out here shortly. Pace car is off field, getting into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Overtime here at Talladega. 2-lap shootout. The green-white checkered. Good start there on the outside. Junior jumps down in front of Senior. That'll open up the door for the 97 to be pushed by the 27. And this is where that momentum is going to come in clutch. The 4 of Adam Stewart, he's up there as well. More cars on the bottom. But can they do it? Tellier gets out to a good lead. He's got a good push there from the 27 to DeBarro. He's going to slot in front of Shane Ewing. And here comes Ewing. He's got a bit of a run. Ewing is going to clear his Dizzy Motorsports teammate. He's going to jump up. Tellier looks to block. Tellier gets back down low, trying to block Junior. And now they're side by side for the lead. White flag is out one more time around. 1 lap to go. The Dizzy Motorsports drivers have found each other. DeBarro pushing Ewing out to a huge lead, but is it too much? Philip Scott getting a huge push from Jamar Dumas. As somebody blinked out, that might have been the 97 of Mike Tellier. He does. So he loses a bunch of momentum, but here comes Philip Scott on the top side. Dumas takes a peek down low. Little contact there. Sideways goes the 99. He's going to go up top and block. Stewart gets turned. Coming through the tri-oval. Who's going to get it? Shane Ewing is going to win at Talladega. The field wrecks behind them. Wow. Let's take a quick look to see what happened here with the 40, with the 4. As, oh, right there, just got tagged. Pancakes the wall there. Tough break. But Shane Ewing gets the win off of his Dizzy Motorsports teammate. Mike Tellier coming in to give the 32 a little congratulatory bump. And let's see Shane Ewing burn it down. A very clean race car, all things considered. As Shane Ewing gets the win over Anthony DeBarro and Mike Floppy Tellier. As Ewing goes around and salutes the crowd here at Talladega. Battle scars in the grass as you see him drive by and celebrate and salute the fans. But we'll go ahead and get our post-race interviews started. As joining me is our third place finisher, driver of the number 97 machine, Mike Floppy Tellier. And, well, Mike, congrats there on the third place finish. Was a pretty wild one. You know, felt a little calm to start the race. But with that overtime finish, man, it looked like it could have been anyone's run there at the end.
Yeah, it was definitely a follow the leader type race. I kind of had my plan set in place to follow DeBarro and Shane and see what would happen just running behind them, because obviously if you can't beat them, join them. And then pitting, I short stopped in my pit box. I was short by like a foot or something. I had to creep forward and I lost time. And I was just glad there was a big enough pack behind us that we could catch back up and have a chance again. And then, yeah, that last lap, I don't even know what happens. I'm trying to go back and watch it and figure out how I got back to a podium and talking to you yet again for the second time this season.
It was definitely an interesting one there to see exactly how it happened, because, you know, it looked like you and the 27 had a great run there on the restart. He pushed you out. You were able to clear the 32. Next thing you know, I look back, the 32 and the 27 were linked up, and, you know, you were kind of starting to fall behind a bit, but able to eke out that third place finish. And, you know, I'd say it's a pretty dang good result.
Yeah. I could have tried to throw a block on them, but I knew they were hooked up. Like, they were literally tandeming by me. And I was like, if I block them, we're all wrecked. It's like, I'd rather race this out and see what happens, because I knew John was behind me and hopefully he could give me a push. And then I lagged down the backstretch and appeared literally on his front bumper and got like the greatest push I could get coming down to the end. And it looks like Phillip got loose or something and saved it. And I don't know, it looks like it was a good finish either way. But yeah, congrats to the winners tonight. Shane, didn't you finish second in the first race? So it's like redemption.
Yeah, redemption run there.
Yeah. So good for him. And for Jamar in the first race, for winning. Congrats, guys.
Well, Mike, looking forward now next week, Richmond race, a bit of a 2000s throwback race as well at the action track. What are your thoughts there? I
enjoy Richmond. I seem to like these tracks that I like randomly decide to return. It's like one of my favorite like lineup of schedules I could have came back to. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'll get another top 5 or come and talk to you again, but I do enjoy running in there. It's always fun, and it's going to be different with these cars because I don't really know how they're going to handle Richmond. Hopefully it's slidey and fun, and you got to be easily on the brakes and throttle, and we'll have a good show.
Awesome. Well, Mike, before I let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, everyone at the Rave Factory for being on the car tonight, and so Dougie and Amulet, and I'm gonna forget everyone, but all the homies at the Rave Factory for putting on fun events in VR chat and letting us enjoy the music and have a good time.
Awesome. Well, Mike, congrats again on the third place finish, and hopefully we'll chat with you next week after Richmond.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, that's Mike Tellier, our third place finisher. And joining me now in the booth is our second place finisher, driver of the number 27 machine, Anthony DeBarro. And well, Anthony, congrats on the P2 finish. Talk us through that restart there. You know, you were restarting sixth, Shane was starting on the point, and somehow you guys just found each other and moved your way up.
Yeah, I think what got me up there, I restarted sixth, and Junior pulled down to help Senior, and it just kind of like launched me up, like the whole bottom checked up, and then Shane made a really good move and went high to get in front of me, and I was just committed because I mean I had a couple chances where I probably could have like got to his right rear and side drafted him, but then we're taking a chance of neither of us winning because we would have been sitting ducks. So as soon as I got to Shane, I said to him, I said I am not leaving your bumper because I'm just trying to maximize my points night. I mean, a point extra for a couple points extra for the win and possibly costing both of us the race was not really worth it to me.
Yeah, definitely not. And, you know, came in fourth last race, second place in this one, a pretty good overall points race for you. Now kind of shifting gears, looking at Richmond next week, a track that you've always done fairly well, at least here in TNR. So what are your thoughts there, especially with the 2000s throwback theme next week?
It's actually my favorite racetrack we go to. I just love rolling the bottom and just I feel like the driver makes a big difference there with being consistent and you know, getting the car to roll the center, and it's just a blast to me. It's actually very. I think it's one of the most difficult short tracks to be consistent at. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think we should put on a good show. I mean, I want to say kudos to iRacing for this car, and like that was the most fun I've had plate racing, and I can't even tell you when. Like just the way that package was, you know, it just was a blast, and you couldn't just hey, I'm gonna go, you know, get this crazy run, just blow by everyone. It didn't work like that. You had to really be calculated and really, you know, think about where you're gonna put your car, or you're going right to the back.
That is for sure. And Anthony, before we let you go, I'm sure you have some shout outs, so let's hear them.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing 2 races tonight for us. Hopefully we put on a good show, and you know, Garrett for setting all this up and putting this whole league on for everyone. And you know, congratulations to Shane as well. I don't know if I said that. I know I said it pushed him, but congratulations to him. It's nice to get the old Florida win here and there.
Awesome. Well, Anthony, congrats there on the P2 finish, and I'm sure we'll be chatting with you after Richmond next week.
Hey, you never know.
All right, that's Anthony DeBarro, our second place finisher. And now joining me is our winner tonight here at Talladega, the sponsor of tonight's race as well, driver of the number 32 car, Shane Ewing. And well, Shane, long time no speak. Looks like you were able to get one more step up on the podium. Talk us through that restart, because it got pretty wild there for that green-white checkered.
Yeah, I want to thank Floppy, Mike Tellier, for all of his help staying with us there. That first part of the race, we got split up. He had a little problem on his pit stop, and he might have had the strongest car that I saw out there. And then when we got lined up on that restart, Ant and I were, you know, talking through scenarios, but he was far enough back. I really didn't think he was going to play a part in it. I couldn't believe he got up to where he got up to so fast. I don't know if the 55 had damage or what, but he just did not go on that start. I had no pushing help from the moment we fired off at the green flag, and I was worried about both of them clearing me, Ant included, and then that didn't happen, and then the only chance I had was to shoot up in front of Ant to get some momentum. And when I did, man, we got all kinds of momentum, and it just threw me to the front. And then I actually really had to back off to try and get Ant back to me, or they'd have blown by me again before the checkered flag. So you don't really, from sitting there watching it on TV, you don't really have any idea how much goes into trying to win these races, and how much of it is just, you know, luck. You just try and put yourself in position, and right when you think you got yourself in the right position, you're like, oh hell, that wasn't it. So yeah, it just crazy, and lucky that that was the last lap.
That is for sure. Looking forward now next week, going to be at Richmond, a 2000s throwback style race. What are your thoughts there? I know Anthony was saying that it's one of his best tracks and one of his favorite tracks. Do you have anything for your Dizzy Motorsports teammate?
Oh, hell no. I don't think anybody's got anything for Ant anywhere, but no, Richmond is not one of my best tracks. I like it. I'm just not very good at it. But I really do enjoy racing this Gen 4 car and having that horsepower. So hopefully I'm better than I have been.
Well, Shane, congrats on the win. Do you have any shout outs for us?
Again, thanks to you guys. I also want to thank my mom for watching every week. I'm sure she was jumping off the couch those last couple laps. So glad to get one for her. All my buddies at Dizzy Motorsports and everybody that ran the race tonight. There was a lot of give and take, and I know there were a few people with hurt feelings I could hear in chat, but I thought it was pretty mild, especially for as wound up as we sim racers can get. You know what I mean?
That is for sure. Well, Shane, congrats again on the win, and hopefully we'll be chatting with you next week after Richmond.
Sounds good, Bob. Thank you again for everything you do. You were solo tonight. Would you fire the other guy? What the hell?
Yeah, solo tonight. Joe had some family obligations that he had to get taken care of, so stuck with me all race.
Yeah, we miss Joe, and we're glad to have you, and we'll see Joe next time too.
Awesome. Well, Shane, congrats again on your win tonight.
Thanks again.
All right, that's Shane Ewing, our winner here tonight at Talladega. Let's take a look here at the final results for tonight. Shane Ewing is going to get the win with his teammate Anthony DeBarro coming home P2 with Mike Floppy Tellier in third. Philip Scott comes home fourth with Jacob Bettis in fifth. John Cannizzaro Jr. sixth. Jason Schue sideways across the line in seventh with Tim Branson behind him in eighth. Cannizzaro Sr. comes home in ninth with Jamar Dumas 10th. Nick Simpson 11th and Adam Stewart, tough break there. He was running about fourth going into the tri-oval, but he finishes 12th here tonight. Paul Bilson in 13th. Ace House gets caught up with Paul Bilson in the wreck, bringing out the overtime finish in 14th. Garrett Gleason 15th, and Robert Tripp in 16th. That is just about going to do it for us tonight. Congratulations to our winners, both Shane Ewing for race number 2 and Jamar Dumas in race number 1. You can join us next Monday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network for Richmond Raceway. But until then, for one final time, I am Bob. Thank you so much for watching the Total Nonstop Racing League live on the Tabletop Trio Podcast Network. Have a great night.